Everybody. It is the NBA Draft Lottery. We got 30 minutes chilling here. We're going to be here for 30 minutes and just enjoying a good time, hanging out with the community. Don't worry. Grab your favorite refreshment, grab your favorite food, and let's see where the Detroit Pistons will be picking.
Oh, man. Craig, you just want, guaranteed top 7. What would be just like, hey, I'm not asking for a lot. I just want to be top 5 or top 4?
That's where I'm at. I think top 4 is even better. But top 5 would be fine. I think we're most likely actually to be number 4, if I'm not mistaken. So
4.1.
That's one of those things where I'm like, hey, let's get there. So
4.1 was the average pick. So, yep, 4. The brisk is in. Now,
I was going to say it's alive, so we need to have a brisk.
And no pizza.
That's how we do it. No pizza. That's hard for talking.
All
right. So let's ask people, you're out there. Who do you want most? Obviously, you want pick number 1, but I want to do a couple of things here. Tell me what pick you think we're going to get and why. Also, who do you want to pick? So I see like Marco out here saying Sharpe's new workout video is impressive. Shaedon Sharpe, that's great. Like, it's so dangerous to take a guy that's only played high school at the highest level. Like, what does that look like? And it's a little bit scary, right? I mean, like, that's a little scary to just go for a guy that's been in high school. So, here we are. I hope, hey, turn the draft lottery on with us as we're going through it right now. They got some players there. Looks like Dame Time is going to be representing the Portland Trailblazers. I haven't seen who's representing the Pistons yet.
Oh, right there. Rip.
Is that the mask?
He brought the mask.
I called it.
Just to throw it on.
That was in one of my videos. I'm like, who are we going to bring for good luck? Is it Rip Hamilton? Please tell me he puts the mask on for the lottery. How great would that be? They start announcing he Velcros it up. Let's go.
Did you just see Chet? I mean, the guy does not look like I trust him. He's so
no,
dude. I don't like that. I want to be like, dude, I love the length. You got, I love the length. Let's go. And it's like, I don't know, man. He's too frail.
I don't know. He's just so skinny.
Oh, like
he's so skinny. And I'm just like, all right. So why are they saying the 4 teams have the best chance at the lottery? I thought it was the top 3. That's almost guaranteed. So Aaron, you're saying Jabari, please elaborate. We'd like to know why you're obsessed with Jabari. By the way, I'm all day on Jabari. Trent Smith says he thinks we're going to pick 3. Man, Trent, good job, man. Following directions. Like, he's like, I'm going to put the pick that I think we're going to get and who we're going to take.
Yeah, it's well done on Trent's part because because I forgot you said that. So when I saw 3, I'm like, yep. And Ivy, thank you. That is perfect. That's where I like Ivy. But dude, that's what we've talked about. Any of these guys would really do. So that's what's fun is because it's good. But yeah, give me just so that Troy Weaver can get his top 3 pick, right? Like just give me a top 3 pick.
If we get a top 3 pick, like you're going to be just absolutely thrilled, right? And I think I don't know if it's 48 or 52% chance that we're going to be in the top 3, I believe it is.
Yeah.
It might be top 4, but it is what it is. Like and here's the other thing that I want to know. Here's what I really want to know for those people that are watching. Do you like the lottery? Should the lottery be done differently? I've seen things where 14 teams, everybody has an equal shot. If you don't make the playoffs, 1 through 14, here you go. Mm-hmm. I think there's been other things that have been proposed, like top 5 or worst 5 get the best chance, then the next 5, then the final 4, and it kind of makes the whole thing a lot more even. And it is interesting, the thought of 14 teams go, perfect lottery. It really encourages teams to make a push for the playoffs. And because there's absolutely no problem with not making the playoffs. So you try and play winning basketball. Every team tries to play winning basketball every night. That's kind of one of those things. Or do you like it the way it is?
We'll see. The problem, Craig, is one of the problems is if you have a legit bad team or 2 teams, that's like they're legitly bad. And they are it's like those teams deserve a better pick, right? But yeah, there's tanking, there's different things where we want everybody playing hard till the end, and that's what that would do if you just jumble them all together, 14. But man,
Yeah.
you'd punish some teams that, man, I'd like to see them turn around. We've been there, so it's like, yeah.
We've been there, and it's one of those things where you're like, yeah, you don't want to just absolutely punish a team.
Right.
Like there's only so much that you can do, I think. And you also can't do it. We've learned you cannot do it where you just do straight record. It's just not possible.
No.
Can't do it. They can't, because then every team, can you imagine how hard? Like, no, you can't tell the players to lose. They're going to try and win because they're trying to play for their next contract, right? But at the same time, you can be like, okay, okay. Trent, what are you doing to us?
Trent, you did well, and now you're fading. Here we go, right here. This is well said. Top 5, we are good. Sharpe and Ivey are nice 4 and 5. Top 3 is top 3.
Yep.
Boom.
Okay, hold on. Who are the top 3? Is it Chet, Jabari, Paolo? Because I disagree with that. And Chris, who do you think I would hang out on those 3? Chet, Jabari, Paolo. Who's the one that I'm just like, no, he ain't top 3?
You don't want anything to do with Chet.
That's a really intense way of saying it.
That's a way. I didn't.
That's an intense way of saying it. That's what I might say to you while we're talking on the phone throughout the week, but that's not what I say right here.
Right.
Because if we end up picking Chet, then now I have to eat crow and be like, here's why Chet's going to be good. Yeah. No, I would not do that. There's more integrity. I struggle with Chet, and here's the reason I struggle with Chet. Obviously, the body's not there, right? Like he's Slenderman, and he's, what is he, like 7'8", 190? No, he's like 7'1", 190. He's extremely thin. But here's the thing. We'll do a video breakdown on each one of these guys as we're preparing for the draft anyway. We'll probably do at least 10 players. And when you hear me talking about Chet Holmgren, what you're going to realize is like that 3-point shooting, people just act like he's just a straight dead-eye marksman. He's not. Right. He had 9 really good games where he shot like 52% on the year, or 52% through those 9 games, or even 60% against really bad competition. And the other 20-some games that he played, he shot like 32%. So he ended up at almost 40% on the season, but it was only because those 9 games carried him. And he was just really bad. He was under 30% in the last like 9 or 10 games of the season too. So
your boy's on TV right now. So
look at him.
When I think of like thin, did you think Kevin Durant looked thin when he came out, right? Like,
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I think Jabari Smith looks thin.
I was just thinking that. He looks thin. Durant, though, now, he says he weighs 230 now. 230.
Yeah.
When he's bigger than when he came out. But, I mean, he can't be 20 pounds heavy. I mean, so he was at least 210. He's 20 pounds heavier than Chet. I'm guessing on that, but do you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, I do know what you're saying, and I'm going to throw a name at you, and I don't know if you're even going to remember this name. Austin Day. The Detroit Pistons select him, I want to say like 13, 14, 15, somewhere in there. And he's a guy who's like 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", somewhere in there, 195 pounds, I think he was, maybe even 205. But he was really thin, never stuck in the NBA. He was one of those big guys that could shoot. And the idea was that he was going to be a stretch 4. He'd put on 20 pounds and he'd be fine. Right?
Yeah.
Nope.
I mean, look at there's 2 guys right there. David Robinson.
Yeah, David doesn't look thin. The Admiral is jacked.
The first guy I ever remember just being jacked. Because like Charles Barkley wasn't. Karl Malone wasn't. And then all of a sudden you're like, okay, this dude's just chiseled out of stone.
Oh, Karl Malone was actually David Robinson is the first guy that I was just like, what? But Karl Malone, dude, was massive.
Yes, Karl Malone was your big kind of rec league guy.
Thank you, Marco.
And then David Robinson was like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to work out. We're going to do curls like on our off days. And you're like, okay.
Only curls.
Yeah.
That's it. Oh. We're just gonna do straight curls.
Chet looks like a stick figure. That's right, Marco.
Yeah, it's unfortunately true. So it is unfortunately
So, Craig,
Unfortunately.
we're 10 minutes in here. We have no action to this point. You and I,
We just went to commercial as people started walking onto the stage. Welcome to the NBA Draft Lottery, where they take 30 minutes to tell you something that should take
about 2 minutes. But we were going to do this and we forgot. Like over under when we actually get started. We're 10 minutes in. We might push 15 minutes halfway into this
before they even start.
Yeah, I'm going to say 15. Over under 15. Anybody out there?
Over under 15. What do you got? And I'm gonna go over 15, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm going over. Because they're gonna come back, and you know what they're gonna do next? They're going to introduce every player that is representing.
You're right. They have not done that yet. So 15.
Oh man.
If you just joined us, we're at the 10-minute mark so far into this broadcast, and we're saying over under 15 minutes until the first pick is revealed. Craig makes a great point that I almost want to push it to 18 minutes.
Yeah, maybe because then what they do, if I remember it from years past, so they introduce everyone, and then they might in that same segment introduce like the first 10. Yeah. And it's just rapid fire. And it's just like give us a second to at least comprehend what's going on.
Yes.
They're just rapid fire, and then boom, commercial, and then they come back for the top. I don't know if it's the top 3 or top 5 or whatever number they decide to stop at. And it's just like, if you would just introduce the people right away, and then start giving us who's picking when, you could break it into 14 through 10, 9 through 5, top 5. You know what I mean? Like, just give us a second to process it. Like, come on.
Well, so when they introduce the representatives, you and I are going to give our best memory of that person. We might not even know him. We may not even know him, but if it's Rip Hamilton, we will know something.
Oh, we're going to know something about that.
Rippy dip. I mean, the guy was just like, I'm going to run around. It was the first time I remember like blatantly. I'm already using mine. I'm not going to use it.
Yeah, I want to use my rip right now too. This is a Pistons show. Let's use our rip. What do you got? What's your favorite?
Just being like, this guy's literally just going to run around, and we're going to set a million screens for him. And then when he catches it, finally, at some point, he's going to get open. He's going to turn and shoot and make it. And I just was like so blown away at like every time down, it seemed like, and you know, we actually did a good job of mixing it up with Shaedon or whatever, but it was just like, and then that's how the offense would start. I had never seen that,
especially in the first quarter.
Yes, exactly.
It was so hard
in NBA games or whatever at the time. You know, it was just there wasn't, unless you're Stockton Malone, like obvious thing that's gonna happen. So that's how I remember being like, who is this guy? And he just was. I loved it, man. It was so great.
So my favorite memory of Rip, Eastern Conference Finals, Pacers, Pistons.
Oh, classics.
And I think we win that in 6 games. That's that, right? I think we won it in 6. That's the Tayshaun block over Reggie, like all that kind of stuff. But what I remember is as I watched that series, just being like, oh my goodness, Rip Hamilton is out Reggie Miller.
Yeah.
And that was so much fun, like watching him. And it was later in Reggie's career, so duh. But like watching him just run Reggie Miller ragged in that series. And then he did that in every series he played in, whether it was Kobe Bryant in the finals, whether it didn't matter who was guarding him. You knew that person offensively would be shot because Rip Hamilton just ran a marathon against him every single time.
Dude, and that was
really cool.
That's why the Pistons Pacers rivalry was so great, because it was like a mirror. You had Jermaine O'Neal, Shaedon. You had
balls.
Who was their point guard? He was thick.
Wait, for who?
For the Pacers.
Oh, well, I mean, it was Mark Jackson, but then it was what was his name? Wasn't he out of like Iowa State?
He was similar to Chauncey. Like, I'm thinking of like a bigger, thicker guy, but
he was. Yeah.
But anyway, they mirrored each other, kind of like like Red Wings Avalanche hockey. Watch out. But like those guys mirrored each other, like Yzerman, Sakic, Fedorov, and like,
look at you going hockey.
What's it's kind of like lacrosse. No, I'm just kidding. I'm
not. So they're talking to Dame time, and the real question is how much does Damian Lillard love Jerami Grant? And does he love Jerami Grant enough for them to give us this pick, whatever pick they get for Jerami Grant and another player? And don't you love it when players start being GMs?
Oh, and he doesn't want to be here, but they're like, well, you want more control, you're going to the lottery. And he's like, dang it.
Yep.
All right. Oh, dude, 15. Okay, if you're just joining us, we said we wanted to know when this would actually kick off. We are 10 minutes into the broadcast. I'm sorry. We are 15 minutes into the broadcast.
Yeah.
And we were asking over under 15 minutes before they actually start because it's only a 30-minute show. So you think we need to get going, but we're interviewing people. This is great.
I get it now. You know how earlier I said, how does Oklahoma City have a 14% chance at the number 1 pick and all of us do? It's because they have a 12.5% chance for their pick and then a 1.5% chance for another pick that they own.
Oh,
from another team.
The same as.
Yeah. But I mean, it is still 14 is 14 is 14, right?
Hey, Verjao. It's like you're not good because your hair is like that, but you were.
Favorite memory of Anderson Verjao is that I've never liked him.
Exactly. Never.
I always like when a team sends like their 5th best player, like PJ Washington for the Charlotte Hornets.
Okay, Craig, we are rapid firing these. Did not expect that.
Yep. Wes Unseld Jr. We got, that's fine. Head coach. Oh, the Admiral David Robinson. My favorite memory of David Robinson is when he told the whole world that Avery Johnson could out bench press him. And that he wouldn't want to fight Avery Johnson because Avery Johnson was putting up like 450 pounds on the bench.
I mean, David Robinson.
Cash? That's amazing.
David Robinson and Tim Duncan. We're just like, what's up?
Yeah.
We could just play together and like, all right.
Domantas Sabonis just traded for him. My favorite memory of Domantas Sabonis is when the Pacers traded him, so we no longer had to play him multiple times every year.
Yeah. Saw him play live. Nick Collison. Boy, he looks old. He's probably our age.
Oh, you're slightly ahead of me.
Okay.
Yeah, Nick Collison. Yeah, he does not look young.
Oh my God.
A special assistant. What do you think that means?
Oh, and there he is, the legend of legends.
Rip. Get that mask on, Rip.
Put it on a little bit. He's like, I will when we get the first pick.
Rip, you could still play, man. You could still play, I think.
Raphael. If I'm the GM, I don't go on there. Craig.
If I'm the GM and I go on there, it's basically like me announcing to everyone, I'm the most important person in this organization. And so it's just like, no, you don't need your face out in the public. The team is your face every time they play. Like that's
and look how we do it. We're making it real simple. Give me a legend from.
Give me a legend. I want my fans to enjoy this.
Exactly. Give me a legend. Thank you. That was easy. And from our latest glory days too. You know, like don't go. Give me a 60s player.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. Mark Tatum. Here we go. You want some volume?
Yeah, hit it.
Can you hear it?
Yeah, a little more. Give me a little more.
Cleveland sucks.
Here you go, Craig. Rapid.
14, okay. Cleveland Cavaliers. 13. We didn't even get to think about it.
All right. So, yeah, digest.
Charlotte Hornet. And then they show the guy, and the guy's just like, gone.
Oh. Give me a little more volume, Craig.
OKC. So they didn't get there with their second pick, so they got the 12th there. That's fine.
11th is the Knicks.
Yep. When we get picked to pick 7, that's when we start getting nervous because we don't want to be 7. We don't want to be 6. We don't want to be 5.
Things going to get real dicey.
Look how fast this is happening. This is all happening in like 12 seconds.
So number 9 pick.
The 9th pick goes to the San Antonio Spurs.
My TV glitched.
Yeah.
The Spurs.
Yeah. At number 8.
Sorry, David. Oh, I'm starting to sweat, bro.
All right, here we go. We're going to do a commercial break now. Oh, no. No.
The 7th pick in the NBA draft.
Don't watch it if you're ahead.
I'm not.
Okay, we're not 7.
Wow, that means Sacramento has moved up
One more. We just need to do one more.
Sacramento's in the top 4. That's not a good thing for us. That's not a good thing for us.
Pick number 6 goes to
No, not the Pistons.
Indiana
Pacers. Pacers, let's go.
Let's do one more.
I think they were
Let's just
supposed
do
to be
one.
5.
Commercial. Mother.
The 5th pick will be made by
Dang it.
Pistons.
Oh, we got 5. Should have brought Ben back.
1 and 4. That's all we wanted was 4. Okay.
Oh, man. Well, Keegan Murray, welcome to Detroit. That's what I say. That's my immediate reaction. Look at these teams that are left. They don't deserve a top 4
No,
pick.
we wanted just one more, Craig, right? If you just said, just give me the top 4.
Yeah, top 4. Top 3 is really, really what you wanted. But it is what it is. How are we feeling, people? How you feeling getting the number 5? Do you feel like it's a punch in the gut, or do you feel like there's enough good players in this draft class that you're like, okay, I think here's the problem. At number 5, you can get a good player, but we needed a 1-2 punch with Cade.
Oh,
Yeah.
we needed.
The Briss didn't help.
Oh, man. We wanted that legit player. All right, Troy. Right here. All right,
our
Eric.
boy Eric, he's commenting a lot on our channel. What's up, Eric? Hope you're doing well, man. Trust in Troy Weaver. I do. Here's my question. Now that we're number 5, is Ivy still around? Do we start thinking about it? Is Shaedon Sharpe becoming a real possibility for us? Or do you go with a guy who's more of a proven product, a guy like Keegan Murray? It opens some things up. There's no joke. I mean, Benedict Mathurin is a good player at that spot. Yeah. So I would not hate this one right here if this happened. Oh, not that one. All right. Don't be shocked if Sharpe jumps into the top 4, pushes Ivy to 5. That'd be great. And that was one of the things with that we had. I don't know if we have talked about it, but it's been talked about. Like with Shaedon Sharpe being there, even if he goes early, it might just push another quality player to us.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with 5, I can see very easily getting Paolo or Jabari if you're number 3. Even a crazy world where you can get one of those 2 at 4. I just don't see those guys getting pushed to 5. So what is this? Damian, not even a Pistons fans, but I'm all in because of you guys. So does that mean you're all in because we're all in? We've made you a Pistons fan, or are you a fan of another team?
I hear that's a good question. Good. Morrow, man.
What are you thinking? What are you thinking, Chris? Talk to us.
I was just thinking, wouldn't that be cool? We're live here. Wouldn't that be awesome if we get all of a sudden, it's like, what if we get the 5th pick? What if we get the 4th? What if we got the 1st pick?
That would have been so thinking, nice, but instead rapid fire, boom, done. Oh,
yeah. Okay. I think that's really the struggle is it's like, here we go. Like, we're going to start the draft. In the next, I blink and we're picking 5 and that's it. Like,
the only problem with 5 now is do we even do a breakdown of Jabari Smith? That's the struggle, because it's like there's no way that dude's dropping. But you never know. Trade night, stuff like that. We might want to.
Yeah, it's we'll definitely get our mock drafts going. Don't worry about that. Mock drafts will be coming out.
Mock drafts. We know where we're at. There'll be different players depending on how it'll go. We'll use some good stuff. And I hear you, Earl. They couldn't give us a top pick 2 years in a row. We would have been the 3rd team in the last 10 years to get number 1 back-to-back, I believe.
Let me ask you this, Craig. How do you get an NBA superstar? How do you get him?
You get the number 1 pick.
Yeah, I mean,
if you're a small market like Detroit,
yeah.
The only way to get an NBA superstar is either to hit, because you can hit on a guy later in the draft, right? I mean, Jaylen Brown, they're showing him on the TV right now. I think he was number 3, which wasn't 3 or 4, somewhere in there. Tatum was 3. You have guys Donovan Mitchell in Utah that was picked, I think 12 or 13, right behind Luke Kennard for the Pistons, by the way. Just want to make sure that's clear. I think there's some players, but here's the thing about this draft. I can make the argument if Ivey's there, Sharpe, Benedict Mathurin, or Keegan Murray, I can make the argument that any of those guys can be a future star in the league. So, all right. So it's back on, by the way, everybody. Sacramento just got the 4th pick. Houston got the 3rd pick. I don't know why, but I feel like they're rivals of ours now. Oklahoma City got 2, which means Orlando.
Good for them. I mean,
sure. You know what? Good
How
for them,
bad?
because they went through like a decade of picking 7th every stinking year.
Yeah, exactly. No, and then they missed on them too, and it's just like, oh, you missed, you should have went, Donovan Mitchell, or you know what I'm saying? Like you missed.
They didn't miss on Franz this year.
Oh, our boy.
Yeah. So, all right, Eric, let's talk. Me and you, let's have a conversation. You texting, me talking, or you typing. You said Saddiq is our number 2 guy next to Cade. We're filling out the roster now. Do you honestly think that Saddiq Bey is good enough to be a number 2 guy on a championship caliber team? Because right now I would say he's number 3 on the team behind Cade and Jerami. And I'm not saying he'll stay there. I'm just saying, like, do you think Saddiq can develop with his limited athletic set into a number 2 guy? Chris, what do you think? Do you think he can do that or not? Oh, I like this too. Booker, Mitchell, SJL around 10 to 12. 100% true. 100% too. I did not see Devin Booker becoming what he is, by the way.
All around 10 to 12. Yep. Damian Lillard. Let me look that up.
I want to say, when did Damian Lillard go? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I want to say 6. That could be entirely wrong. You can look.
He was drafted. Come on, Google. Wow, Anthony. Okay, ready? Anthony Davis, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, Bradley Beal, Deion Waiters, Thomas Robinson all went before Damian Lillard. Number 6.
Number 6. Nice. Okay, Nathan, let's have a conversation too. Where does Bagley fit into the picture of a championship caliber team? Who wants to take this, Chris, me or you? Who wants to start it out?
Just coming off the bench, off the bench. Hot.
Yep,
like,
I agree.
Great.
Coming off the bench as a scorer,
a
scorer, pick and roll. That's his job, and preferably with a stretch 5. So you almost have the setup for it in Detroit right now, coming off the bench as a 4 pick and roll threat, and you have Kelly Olynyk as a stretch 5. If Kelly Olynyk remembers how to shoot again this year, then that's his role. If you want Marvin Bagley to be starting caliber, like one of your better players on a championship team, you won't have a championship team. Eric agrees with us. First big off the bench. Love it. So Marco, Sacramento at 4 is big. Why? Why? And I mean, that's great. I mean, like Sacramento, that's a big move up for them, right? I think they were supposed to be like 8 or 9 or something like that. I don't remember exactly where they were supposed to be, but Sacramento, they got something a brewing out west. If you ask me, you have De'Aaron Fox at point guard. You have Domantas Sabonis, and if you can get another high caliber player, we could be really good. So, all right, Isaiah. What do you got, Chris? Were you saying something?
I was going to say, you've been saying Keegan Murray, and he's the first after the big 4.
For you?
Yeah.
And so do you think the big 4 are Paolo, Jabari, Chet, and Jaden?
Yes. And why is it that Ivey's like dropping all of a sudden? Or wasn't he a top 3 guy?
I desperately hope that Chet goes in the top 3. I hope the Thunder are like, yeah, sure, we'll take Chet. That would be absolutely fantastic. Because to me, Chet is the guy that I'm like, at 5, I actually could stomach drafting Chet, if I'm being honest.
Sure.
I don't think I could have stomached it at 1 or 2. Like I would have been, oh, Troy, I want to trust you, but I don't know. They mocked us Keegan Murray. That's what we were saying. So you, Isaiah, by the way, really cool way to good spelling. Like that's like the way his font is awesome. I just want to be clear on
So,
that.
Craig, the wild card is Shaedon Sharpe. Then I mean,
Shaedon Sharpe is the wild card. And I mean, if it's sitting there, do you go Ivy? Do you think Ivy's the guy that you can? I love how they put him in his Kentucky jersey because he played so much there. Like,
yeah,
but like this means picking 5. We have to do a deep dive on Shaedon Sharpe. We gotta.
What if we? Because I'm thinking about if he goes before us, then it opens up Ivy, Murray. But what about us taking him? I haven't thought about that.
Yeah, we have to do a really deep dive. The problem with this is it's so difficult. Like it's really, really difficult to like accurately evaluate a high schooler.
Yeah.
Like the best thing you can do is go to his AAU stuff where there was other college level players on the court, but even they were in high school. So, and then he didn't play this year, but here's what we do know. And these are the things I have not looked a ton into him because he only officially declared like a week ago or something like that. So like, I haven't looked a ton into it, but my thing is he was like one or two coming out last year. He was a 5-star. He was just an elite, like shot creator, shooter. Like, I mean, the guy had every single tool you wanted. So you have to ask yourself the question, is he the guy that can be your other superstar next to Cade Cunningham?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you have to ask with that question. I mean, Keegan Murray, like, yeah, great draft pick, but basically you're just picking a guy that you're going to replace Jerami Grant with. So what do you do with that? By the way,
cool. Yeah. Oh, good.
I missed it. I think Keegan Murray actually has a better offensive game, which could be, I think he could be much, much better than people think. Like much better.
Correct.
And
so right now, Shaedon Sharpe, Jaden Ivey, or Keegan Murray.
I think those are the 3 that you're, or Benedict Mathurin, I think is a possibility too.
Okay.
Out of Arizona, wing, like 6'6", 6'7", good shooter, elite athlete, can jump out of the floor or jump out of the gym. You know, he's just one of those guys that I think you at least have to take a look at. What people don't like about him is because some of his comps are KCP, Kentavious Caldwell.
Oh gosh, yeah.
He's not KCP. He's a much better athlete, much better jumper. The issue is that he doesn't have a lot of wiggle in his dribble. He's more of a straight line driver.
Wiggle in his dribble. I've never
got to get that wiggle in your dribble.
But I love it. Okay. Wiggle. All right. Next question for you. Okay. So do you know much about Ty Washington?
I don't know a ton about Ty Washington. But at number 5, it'd be too early.
Yeah. Love his name, but.
Oh yeah. Great name. Ty is kind of dropping down boards right now because he's not one of those guys that's, I mean, he doesn't have an elite talent, I guess.
Yeah.
There's no elite skill set from him. Yeah.
Oh, you had Isaiah pulled up. My bad.
Oh, you didn't. Well, I mean, we did kind of answer it.
Yeah. Okay.
We did kind of answer no. He said what the plan or what the path is going to be going forward. The path all depends and I think hinges on what you do with Jerami Grant. If you're planning on trading Jerami Grant, Keegan Murray makes sense. And then what do you trade him with? So does anybody remember do you remember what Portland got, what pick they got in this?
2.
No, Portland. No, that was OKC got 2.
I do not remember Portland. No, I don't remember.
So like
2.
2?
I don't know.
Oh, sure. I'll take it. No, I think the other question you have to ask yourself too is if we trade Jerami Grant to Portland, because everybody's saying Portland.
7.
Yeah, okay, 7. All right, Chris, you're the first guy and people are going to rip you apart no matter how you answer this. So I'm going to give it to you. Would you take Jerami Grant? Would you trade him away for the number 7 pick and salary filler guys?
No.
Really?
Keep Jerami Grant because what if see it's hard because what if Ivy's there? If Ivy's there, then we've got Ivy, Grant, things are coming together. If we get rid of Jerami Grant, then I don't know because let's the 7th pick. I'm just looking here. We're looking at who would be available at the 7th pick, and it's nobody I like more than Jerami Grant, and I want to keep him. What would you say?
Say it again because I was reading the comments.
Keep Jerami Grant is what I say.
Oh,
And
yeah,
do
but
not trade him.
okay, so you're asking me what I would say on it?
Yeah, what would you do?
I would have a hard time not saying Jerami Grant for the 7th round or for number 7 pick. And here's the only reason I'm saying it. You have a lot of guys on this team that eventually you're going to have to pay, right?
That's true.
And Jerami Grant's going to be asking for about $28 million a year for the next 4 years. He's 28 years old, or will be 28 years old. And I think like when I look at Jerami Grant, I really like him, but I also say if we have 5'7", that could be Ivy and Keegan Murray. And I know you don't want to just go off what potential could be, and Jerami Grant's a proven commodity, so that is what makes it kind of difficult for me to just say unload him, especially because Pistons fans had in their minds that somebody was offering us 3 first-round picks for him. Just a year and a half ago. Or a year ago at this time, and then we got so much less because he came out of the gate slow this year. But you also have to remember it was to a team that was competing for championships, and it was going to be 3 first-rounders to a team that would probably convey in the 20s for each of them. The number 7 pick is worth more than 3 20-somethings. It
That's
just
right.
is.
That's right.
So,
and dude,
or can you take 5 and 7 and trade up to 3? Like there's so many things that you can do.
Dude,
so
and I love good comment here that the Kings might not take a guard. And Ivy, we keep coming back to Ivy because he would seem like the number 1 guy there for a little bit in the college basketball season. Dropped a little bit, maybe just from like a decision-making standpoint that you would want him to be a little bit better, but he's so explosive and just you don't want like another Russell Wilson. I don't know how well he can shoot, Craig. That's what I would
shoot better than Russell Wilson.
Yeah, but you know,
or Russell Westbrook. I don't know
Westbrook.
Why I said,
Russell
he can
Wilson.
shoot better than Westbrook, but here's the thing. So we say Kings probably won't take a guard. I'm telling you right now, if Chet Holmgren is still sitting there at 4 for the Kings, they take Chet because Domantas Sabonis is an interior scorer. Like that is what he does. And Chet, and he does not defend the basket at all, right? But he's a low post scorer who just gets you buckets. And so if you have a guy like Chet that can space the floor, but also is an elite rim protector, because he is an elite rim protector, that's where I'd be going if I was Sacramento, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be going with Chet. Keep him out west. And that's kind of what you're saying. Yeah. Oh man, I'm just looking at this stuff. Yeah. So back to the Grant thing.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be upset either way. Because I like Jerami Grant. I think he's a good player. And if, like you said, if we draft a guy like Ivy, or if we draft a guy like Sharpe, by the way, if we get a guy like Sharpe, we're also saying like, yeah, maybe another year in the lottery, and because like he's going to take a second to develop. But there's something about Sharpe's game. I don't know if it's the unknown, but that elite athleticism to be able to create off the bounce for himself. Him and Ivy are the 2 guards that really have that in this draft.
Dude, it's crazy. You look at really at like pick 9, it just drops off. I mean, to the point where you're picking, well, I'm talking drops off in a superstar potential, even chance, right? Like I think we keep talking about like, hey, we gotta, like the top 3 or 4, and then after that's like, hey, you could get some potential, but then after like pick 10, and the NBA is crazy, man. Like you're hoping you get a nice player, but after pick 10, it falls off, and then in the second round, it's gone.
Well, and every draft is different, right?
Yep.
I think a couple years ago, it was a massive drop off after pick 2. Because you had Zion and you had Ja Morant, and then the next one was RJ Barrett. And he's starting to put together a good career. I think he's going to have a good career, but he's not a superstar. Meanwhile, Zion is just destroying all things Zion.
And Ja Morant is just outstanding.
Oh, phenomenal. Derrick Rose 2.0 can shoot. I mean, like watching a guy like that is a blast, but it's different every year. And I think this year, in my mind, you have 2 guys that are above the rest. It's Jabari and Paolo. I think Chet in the right situation could work. I think that Sacramento, as much as people go there to die, I think it mess up of the makeup of the team works. But then again, you have this. You have Rod Love saying Chet not getting past OKC. I get it.
Greg, Kings, who messes you up more, the Kings or the Magic?
Messes me up.
No, like if you're a player and okay, which of those two teams messes up players, just doesn't seem to go well. They draft not great. They don't develop. Is it what situations like kind of worse overall for the last 10 years?
Doesn't both just suck?
Oh,
Like, can you think of one phenomenal prospect that came out of either? I mean, Aaron Gordon was okay for the Magic.
My gosh, Aaron
But
Gordon.
I would say the Magic have messed up considerably more because at least in Sacramento, I don't know, because I mean, De'Aaron Fox is playing pretty well there. Like, that's rough. All right, Noah. I want to talk Noah for a second.
Okay, go ahead.
Like, Noah, thank you. That's smart business. If we can sign Ayton, because truthfully, Ayton can be your number 2 or 3 guy. And I know people have different views on Ayton. People absolutely have different views on DeAndre Ayton. But here's the thing. People are looking at that from a closed lens of what have you done for me lately? And the playoffs did not go well for him this year. DeAndre Ayton was an absolute beast last year in the playoffs. They don't get out of the Western Conference without that man. He was a bucket. He could not miss on the interior, and he even kept him in the Bucks series. That's just what he did.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Craig, did you like Derrick Rose back in the day?
No.
Me either.
I'm a Pistons fan.
Well,
how can you?
For sure. But I just thought I thought exactly what happened was going to happen.
Yeah.
And it did. Like, it's like, you can't, that's cool, man. You're explosive. You're jumping all around, but I don't know if that's really going to last. And it didn't. But then he made a comeback, but then he kind of faded off.
All right. This is a great question. Who will definitely be gone by pick number 5?
Okay. Who will definitely be gone?
You just got to give me one name. Jabari Smith will 100%. I don't know. I never say 100. 99%. He will be gone. Paolo Banchero will be gone.
Will be second, guaranteed gone. And then
Chet. I don't know if you can say anybody else is guaranteed gone. People will say Chet. People will say Chet.
But yeah, those two are the ones that are gone. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's those two. Argument for 3. For sure.
The Magic, Thunder, Rockets, Kings, Pistons.
Yeah. I think we can do it here. Here's the problem. We need 2 things. We need an elite, either rim protector, jumpy big, and Bagley can be the jumpy big, but he can't be the rim protector. And we need another guard/wing to take some of the pressure off Cade. So either a point forward type deal or whatever that looks like. We need a guy or just a deadly shooter to go next to him. Yep. So I think that's where Jaden Ivey could be great as a secondary ball handler. I think that Benedict Mathurin could be great as an athletic wing to go next to him and be a good spot up shooter. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that we can do here.
Mm-hmm. I'm pulling something up for you here, Craig. Something special.
Oh, look out, everybody. When Chris says something special, there's a 50% chance it's going to be really special.
It's going to be 80%. Okay, here we go.
Yes, Michael, we got 5.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Keep going.
Mm-hmm. While you're pulling that something special up, I remember I was just watching the TV and you see Mark Tatum and he's got that smile on his face and he holds up the number 1 pick. They're showing the replay of it and it's the Orlando Magic. And it just brought me back to last year. Oh. And just like, I remember being in my basement, just like, yes. And I'm trying to yell, but I can't yell because I have children, you know? So like, it's one of those things that I'm like, all right.
I'm going to give you the last 10 years, the number 5 overall pick.
Okay. You did do something special.
Thank you. 2010, DeMarcus Cousins. Okay. 2011. Oh, geez. Jonas from Lithuania.
Jonas Valanciunas. Guaranteed. Yep. Got it.
Thomas Robinson. Okay. That's not good. Alex Len, Maryland. Dante Exum. And
What?
20
Oh my goodness. What year are we at? 2015?
We're now going to 2015.
Okay.
Mario Hezonja from FC Barcelona
Oh
Basque.
my
Going to the
goodness.
Orlando Magic. This is when things fell off the rails. 2016. Okay, we need somebody. Chris Dunn
The Bulls.
from Providence, going to Minnesota Timberwolves. Okay, 2017.
Oh yeah, okay.
De'Aaron Fox.
Great.
2018, Trae Young. And then
Fantastic.
2019, Darius Garland.
Great. He's
the
about
list-
to get paid.
The list stops. So I don't have the last 3 years. Cool. Good.
I guess when you said the last 10 years and you started at 2010.
That's when you knew.
So go to 2020 draft and then 2021 and then 2022 and we'll figure it out.
NBA draft. Here we go. Are you ready for the 5th pick in the 2020 NBA draft? It was Isaac Okoro.
Okoro. Okay, Cleveland.
What is
Oh
it?
my
Okoro?
No, Isaac Okoro, but I think,
Okoro.
but like, dude, what are we?
Oh, all
You're
right.
not helping.
20. I know. I want to help.
This is a deeper draft. Like, it is a deep draft.
All right, 2021. Here we go. The Magic select Jalen Suggs.
Yep. Okay, that was last year, so that's fine. That's the last one. Jalen Suggs really thought he'd be able to shoot.
Yeah, then they got Franz as well. The Magic, those animals.
Yeah, he went like 8,
man.
right?
Yep.
So I don't know, man. I feel optimistic about number 5. I'm not feeling terrible about it. There you go. Think positively, man. We didn't get 7th like we usually do. That's true.
That would have been a problem. 7, we're now getting a little like shoot, but I think 5 we have a fighting chance. So we'll take it. We'll get our mocks out and different things, and we'll start studying these guys. I mean, I don't know. Jaden Ivey, just be there, and then we don't have to study anything.
Yeah, we don't need to worry about it. Jaden Ivey is going to be. I don't know. Even that, it's
a little sketch around the edges.
It's not even that it's skeptical. I really do think that they're, Ivy, Keegan Murray. I have to look more into Sharpe. I haven't. I was waiting until this moment because if we got like the number 1 pick, I wasn't gonna. No, I still would have to look at it. So I think we'll keep getting stuff out. We'll see what's going on, but I'm not feeling that bad. I'm not feeling that bad.
I mean, one of 3 guys will be there, and you just got to hit one of those right guys. I mean, I guess you won't have a choice on probably one of them. You know what I mean? Like he'll already be gone, but you got to hit that.
You just got to hope and trust that the board falls your way.
And
the ping pong balls didn't, but the board will. Well, I really thought we were going to get the 4th pick. That's what I was saying to everybody is that we'd get number 4. I really thought we were going to get 4.
We get 4, and it's just all right. We got 1 for sure. We got somebody we can get, but
for sure
at 5, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Oh
my goodness! All right, so now
we got to get
all
out
the
of
stuff's
here.
going to start heating up. Yeah, I Victor, that guy. Yeah, I mean, like he's always being drafted in 2K franchises.
For intrigue purposes, I mean, it would still be there if we had the 1st pick. Don't get me wrong. The more I'd say this, the more I realize how stupid it is. But I was thinking at the 5th pick, there's a few different ways we can go. And I guess that, like I said, that would have been no matter where we're picking. But I'm just thinking for our research purposes and just entertainment purposes, it's like, hey, we got a lot of different options. So
yeah,
I don't hate it. I don't hate 5. Let's do it.
No, we got a lot of options. And I think now instead of, if we had the number 1 pick, sure, we were going to break down 10 different players anyway. But the reality is we were only ever going to pick 4, 1 of 4.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with the number 5 pick, there are legitimately 8 or 9 guys that could either fall to you or you could get at that point without going absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
So I think that the unique thing with this, you were talking about why is Ivy falling? I see mock drafts that have him at 2, with really good, well-respected people. And I see mock drafts that have him at 6 or 7. So like it's really weird. I think people aren't sure what to do with him. I think with Jaden Ivey, though, what you have to understand with this guy, the system he played at in Purdue did not do him any favors. I
True.
mean, they were a big men centered system where you always had two big men that could not space the floor. And then you have a guy like Jaden Ivey that's like, let me get to the basket. Like, I'm a playmaker. Let me get to the basket. Let me kick. Let me penetrate and drive and shoot. And he just really didn't have the freedom to do that in the Big Ten with Purdue. He just didn't.
And
So that hurt him.
absolutely. And we just talked about this. Like in the NBA, you literally just spread the floor. And can you beat somebody and
Yeah.
cause havoc? And now you're taking it to the hole or you're kicking it for a three. I mean,
That's right.
You know, and so you make a great point about Purdue. I mean, you can just picture it. Matt Painter, two
All
big
day.
boys in there, and you're just like on the block. Dude, seriously, like
Every guy 7'2" or above in college plays at
what
Purdue.
year is it? And you're just like every guy's on the block and he's trying to get in there and it's just crowded, man. So
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be interesting. That's why Ivy's a wild card too.
Ivy is a wild card, not as much as Sharpe. Not as
Sharpie.
much as Sharpe. By the way, the game that if you keep seeing me peek over here, it's because I'm watching the Boston-Miami game.
Give me your thoughts on that, Craig. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask you who you think's going to win it. So here's my thoughts on it. My thoughts are, I think Boston, and I would have 100% taken Miami beforehand. But there's some injuries with Miami right now. And also, which I think are Kyle Lowry's hurt, and that's affecting them big time. They got by Philly, but I think Boston's more battle tested. They went through the Brooklyn Nets, which was a whole unique, just superstar experience with Kyrie and Kevin Durant. They didn't play defense though. Then they had to go through the defending champs. And I understand Middleton was out, but anytime you got to go through Giannis, like you're taking your lumps, you're playing hard.
Yeah.
So I feel like the Celtics are absolutely battle tested. I really, really do.
I like Boston as well. Well coached. And you said it. They went through, because even the Brooklyn series, though they swept them, was just unique.
Hard
in a
fought.
way.
It was fun.
Yeah. It was very, like you said, there's some real-time superstars on the other team, so you're playing that game. Then you still got to beat a superstar in round 2, but you just battle it out. It's like, man, these guys are I love it. So I like Boston there. And then for you, I like the Warriors. But who do you like in the West?
Yeah, I like the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that the experience there, I think is going to play heavy. And I think that Steve Kerr is a fantastic coach. So Luka is not going to quite do to them what he did to other teams.
Exactly.
I think when you can throw Draymond Green at Luka Doncic on the other side, you kind of have the perfect defender against him.
The perfect defender.
Even when he's not in, it could be Iguodala, it could be Kuminga. I think they actually have defenders that can play. They can throw bodies at Luka Doncic. It'll hurt him a little bit on the offensive side, but not with Draymond. Like he's always in. So like I absolutely take the Kings. I think it's a cool thing what the Mavs did, but I think it'd be really hard for one guy to be, especially because people on this channel seemingly hate Jalen Brunson, so they don't think he's actually a real player. Even though I think he's pretty darn good.
I think, dude, Draymond, as much as I can't stand him, I think his play is so, I don't know why more people don't do what he does. And what I mean by that is A, he's smart, but B, he's going to take the best player like this and really mess with him the best he can. I mean, he did to LeBron, where it's just like, I got to do something. Like, I'm just not going to let you take me over all game. I'm going to pull your shirt. You know what I mean? Like, just seriously. And so he's the perfect guy for this. And it's like,
oh yeah,
I like the Warriors, man.
Just absolutely piss you off the entire game. If I'm allowed to say that.
How can that not affect you when, anyway?
It's going to affect you eventually. And that's just
at some point.
Not something he had to deal with against Phoenix. And Phoenix, for all the things they do well, when they play an elite top 5 player, they really struggled. Like they did against Giannis in the finals last year. They just didn't have somebody who can match up with those guys. They just didn't. And Miles Bridges, for all his great defensive, Mikal Bridges, for as good of a defender as he is, not against Giannis, not against Doncic, not against those guys. A normal wing, yes, but not just those massive humans. So, oh my goodness. You're seeing that?
That's risky. Sage likes it. Usually comes in with some things, and he comes in. He knows how to get highlighted on the screen. Sage, I will say that. You know how
What'd
to
you
get
say?
up. He knows how to get up on the screen with his
He
comments.
does. And like, look, here's the thing about lucked out on a championship with the Warriors roster. Remember, he won that and 73 games in a regular season. He didn't win the championship in the same year, but he did that without Kevin Durant. I just want to remind everybody that they did win without Kevin Durant. And if they win again this year without Kevin Durant, we
Then
can no
you-
longer say Steve Kerr is a trash coach. No way. No way.
I've never heard that in my life. By the way,
never heard that
Also-
in my entire life. There are times where I'm like, what is he doing? But that's what happens when you have it. So every single mock I'm looking at after the lotto has the Kings taking or swing on someone and giving the Pistons Ivy, the Stones. I love it. I love it. So
we'll take it. We'll take it.
I'm good on that. Whoever, and the Kings will swing on somebody too. I didn't put this up there. I don't think I put this one up here. Eric, you know how to get on the screen too. I thought this was hilarious. Think about it. If anyone is going to take a swing on Sharpe, it will be the Kings. Kings going to Kings.
Perfect.
Kings going Kings. That's true, man.
Don't you feel like they might not this year? First, because we're sitting right behind them and they just they're going to take Ivy right in front of us.
Just
What am I
do it.
saying?
Just a fantastic thing. And then we're going to go Sharpe.
Oh, we go Sharpe. Would you rather take a flyer on potential in Sharpe?
I'm not ready yet. I'm
Okay.
not ready to answer that question.
Okay. Craig, what are you ready to get out of here, or you want to keep?
No, we can
rolling?
get out of here. We'll
No.
put together a couple videos if you want, and throw it down. Just kind of immediate thoughts and reactions. What it looks like to get the number 5 pick, who's in play. But here's what I will say before we get out of here. One question that keeps coming back to me is someone asked, like, where do we think the Pistons will go from here? We're all excited about the draft. We're all excited about these different things. Don't forget about the 25 to 30 million in cap space. And sure, we might use that to some of that to re-sign Bagley, and so that would eliminate it. But you better believe Weaver is going to take a swing on a big name if he has the ability to do it, whether that's through trade, whether that's a sign and trade, whether that's a straight signing. There is something wrong in Phoenix right now between DeAndre Ayton and the Phoenix Suns. He played 17 minutes in game 7. 17 minutes. I don't know what's going on. Phoenix is not happy with him. He is not happy with Phoenix. There are things like that where it's like, okay, like now we're starting to look. I'm not sure. Cleveland has shown interest in Jerami Grant. And I'm telling you right now, like if we can get a good player and then sign it, like in the draft, sign a good player, like we're there. We're right there, ready to compete quick. So I think that's just another thing that we have to keep in mind. And if we trade Grant for 1 or 2 large expiring contracts and a high pick, we have cap space next year too. So,
yeah.
Like, just don't forget that. Not that you can spend it all, because eventually, like I said, you're gonna have to pay Isaiah Stewart, you're gonna have to pay Sadiq Bey, you're gonna have to pay Cade Cunningham. Like that's all gonna come due. It's gonna come due in 2, 3, and 4 years. So you can't just go nuts and get there. Yeah. So what is he saying now with the 5th pick? What is that?
We can't get a star with the 5th pick. I don't know. Eric.
So it's exciting though, man. It's nice to talk about this. And 2, we had a lot of people sign on here, more than the NFL draft.
Yeah.
Double the numbers at times. And so it's nice to see the Pistons love on this channel. Can I just say that right now? Like it's good to see the Pistons love on this channel, because I love the Lions, but I love the Pistons.
You
too.
love some Pistons.
I love me some Pistons. And, it's fun to watch it. And I mean, I think everybody's of different ages. We have people on here that are watching that watch the bad boy Pistons. Then they saw the dark years in the early 90s. Then they saw the try hard Pistons with Grant Hill. Then some down years again, the going to work Pistons. And then it's just been down since like 2010, 11, 12, somewhere in that range. And it's just like, it has been a long 10 to 12 years. And so to see a guy come in with a vision And I think we talk so well about Brad Holmes on this channel. And I don't think we talk as well about Troy Weaver. And Chris, it's because of something you always say. You always say this. There's 53 people on a football team. There's 15 on a basketball team. And you talk about how like Brad Holmes is literally, it seems like when free agency comes and the draft, like we've had literally 15 to 20 players to talk about over the last month.
New players, resign. Yeah.
Resign.
Just
These are
moves.
maybe even 25 players throughout the entirety of the Pistons offseason. We'll have like 5 players to talk about.
Yeah.
Or 6. And that's okay. We'll just talk
half
more.
of them will be like, oh yeah. But yeah, exactly. It's a good point. You definitely take Brad Holmes. Look at this, look at that, because he's going to make more moves. It doesn't mean it's any better or worse, but yeah, NBA you make less moves.
Troy Weaver did something I can't recall another team doing. And in the span of his first year, I think it ended up taking like 15 months or something like that. He got rid of every freaking player on the roster and completely flipped over the roster. I've never seen anything. I've never seen anything quite like that. I've seen teams go into tank mode and just drop it all, but he was like, nope, my team, and just flipped it. It was unbelievable.
I mean, it's what you had to do, but it's like, do you have the green light to do that? Obviously he did. And he's like, I'm going to watch this.
This was a really interesting question I got posed on a podcast. They got posed on a podcast that I was listening to. Who do you give more credit for what Troy Weaver is doing? Troy Weaver or Tom Gores, the owner? And because basically it's Troy Weaver. So I'm going to ask you this question. Is Troy Weaver's like, it's doing it and executing it, but it's Tom Gores being the owner and being like, fine, I'm not going to try really hard for 40 wins anymore. Just go.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Because we've been rebuilding for not rebuilding. We've been trying to win, haven't been successful for 10 years. He could absolutely say, let's keep going. Like we're right there, but it's like, let's tear it all down. And if it takes 3 years, so be it. We're going to do it the right way.
That's right.
And that's hard to look at 3 years ago to think, dude, come on. Aren't we close? We have Blake Griffin. Like, can't we do something with that? It's like, no.
No, you can't.
You can't.
Not when you only have Blake Griffin. I mean,
he was legitimately had one good season, and then it's like we all know this is going to happen. Where he's with the Pistons, he had one good season with the Pistons, and then we all knew he's older. He's been jumping around a lot, and there it was. And I mean, actually, still played well, but yeah, we needed like prime Blake Griffin. We didn't have that.
Yeah. And I think the other thing, and I appreciate what he did, like he played hard and it was really, really good. But like Blake Griffin couldn't get out of the Western Conference with CP3, and it's just like, you gotta,
and he's proven to be great.
Yeah. I love people hopping on and, we get like, do you think the Pistons will trade Grant for the 7th pick? We talked about it. We don't know. Like, to me, everybody's saying, nope, not enough. To me, I'm wondering why Portland would do it. Like, I truly do kind of wonder, like, that seems a little hefty there. And then we see stuff like this. Please get Ayton and put Grant in a sign and trade. So you're saying sign Ayton, get him locked up, and then trade Grant for him. How would you feel about that, Chris? Instead of just getting Ayton outright, because he's a restricted free agent. So technically Phoenix can match anything we offer.
Okay.
But we could offer the max and Phoenix would be like, no, we need to get something back. Otherwise we'll just match it. We could either call their bluff or be like, all right, fine, let's do a sign and trade. We'll give you Jerami Grant. You give us DeAndre Ayton. What would you say?
I don't like that.
You don't? Is it just because you're like, no, he's a restricted free agent, I just want to sign him outright? Or you don't like the move?
Both. I would like to have, let's just sign him outright and then we can do something else with Grant. It feels like we're doing 2 things there for one when we can just sign him.
Yeah, it does feel like we're doing 2 things for one, but I would trust Weaver that if he did that, that was the only way you were going to get him. And I would
Yeah.
very happily pay DeAndre Ayton $35 million over Jerami Grant $28 million. And you could sign Ayton, and then you can draft whoever you want. Whether it's Keegan Murray, whether it's Sharpe, it doesn't really matter because that person you're hoping, and Sadiq Bey, I mean, hey, Eric's already been on here talking about how Sadiq Bey can be your second best player. Well, Sadiq would only have to be the third best player at that point because Ayton would be your second guy. Just drop that up there. What does it say? What do we got?
He trusts Troy Weaver and he feels fine being in position 5. And that's what we've been saying. I mean, that's really what we've been saying is we're good with 5. We really are. And because we trust Weaver and we're in the middle of this rebuild and we're really close. And it's like there's someone will be at 5. I mean,
someone will be there.
Somebody will be there. Oh, here you go.
So the salary caps would be even enough that because I think Olynyk's at 12 or 13 this year, Grant's at 20. Ayton, I'm not sure exactly what his contract would be, but it's somewhere in that mid-30s is my assumption. So I think we'd still be left with 23 million, 20 to 27 million in cap space. Yeah. And that would definitely be enough. Can you imagine though? All right, get rid of Grant, get rid of Olynyk. You trade for DeAndre Ayton. You get Jalen Brunson, and then you draft Keegan Murray. So now you're looking at a starting 5 of Cade, Jalen, Sadiq Bey, Keegan Murray, and DeAndre Ayton. And all of a sudden you're like, that's not a bad team. I don't know who comes off the bench. I don't know what you're doing. I mean, then you can, because he's a restricted free agent, you can pay that money still to Bagley. And you can bring him back. And so you have a scorer off the bench. You still have Killian on the bench. You can all argue whether or not that's a good thing. And you still have a very similar bench to what we have now. It's almost the same bench to what we have now.
Do you think Troy Weaver just picks somebody at 5 and either we get one decent free agent, or do you think there's going to be a lot of trades possible? Like, do you think Troy Weaver gets weird in this offseason now, or do you think we're this close, let's just play it safe almost?
So Troy Weaver got real weird first offseason. Last offseason, he didn't get that weird. He kept certain guys around. He kept Tommy around, things like that. And I think what we have to understand with Weaver is that while he completely dismantled and brought in a new roster, he is also, what's the word I want to use? Not loyal, but he realizes that while it's a business, it's still people. So he does right by his players. He did right by Blake Griffin. Like Blake Griffin gave a lot of money back in that because Troy Weaver handled it so well. He did right by Derrick Rose in trading him to the Knicks where he wanted to go. Like he does right by players. So I don't think he's going to get that weird. I think Jerami Grant's at a place where he's about ready to go too. Not in a bad way. He's very happy to stay. I'm sure he loves it here in Detroit. I mean, he's made that really, really clear. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I
love it.
So, by the way, Bagley was at the practice court and has been consistently with Livers. So Isaiah Livers, expect his deal to come through shortly after the playoffs. $22 million. 2 years or 3 years? Because if that's a $22 million 3-year contract, that's a great contract. I think even if it's $22 million for 2 years, it's not a horrible contract.
Oh, okay, Robert.
Robert's old school. He's been there. He's seen the 3 championships. He knows what's up.
3 of them. You better believe it.
They will be competing because they have won 3, and that's the way the Pistons do. Let's go to work.
Let's go to work.
Question is, if we get this team, like, what is the media going to make the nickname? The Motor City Millennials.
Oh, geez, the Motor younger, man, younger.
Yeah, you're right. They're even younger.
Well, I guess the millennials are the ones really wanting to come back to the Pistons, and we need a winner.
So Eileen is all over the channel, right? Like she whoever, you know, like,
Or is it Eileen? Or is it? Oh no, it's Eileen, right?
come
It's
on,
Eileen.
Eileen. Yeah,
Is that the name? Or
maybe.
oh,
Can you phonetically spell that for us, please?
I want to say it's. Are you a boy or girl?
Can you please phonetically spell your name and reveal gender?
Yeah.
So,
You don't have to do that.
like, but like, where do you get this information? It's Dan.
Oh,
Okay.
you animal.
Dan, the Danimal.
Jeez. We
It's a fake name. I'm
suspect that
Dan.
we suspect that we have a few people that either on their wife's accounts or they have this made up names like Dan, and
Yep.
they come in hot with great opinions, and they could very well be females, and that would be great.
Yeah,
But
absolutely
you
great.
got the fake names, and you can do it. I mean, you can do anything. You can do anything online, so you could. It's fine. No one's mad at you.
We don't want you to lose your job, Dan. We definitely don't want you to lose your job. That's
I could lose my job.
So I'm just gonna show this is what we're doing too, Eric. We are laughing, and you know, like this is just it's great. But we have Eileen, who is now Dan. We have a Mary that comments on our channel every once in a while. We know that's Cal. Like we know, and we both know him personally, and it's just why get your own YouTube account when you can just be on your wife's account, right? And then we have the fake account with Dan. I mean, it's YouTube. You can be whoever you want and do whatever you want.
I wonder why he would lose his job.
Well, you can't say that. Oh, Dan, don't tell us.
No, I'm asking you why he can't say his real name, or he can't.
So here's the deal. His last name is on this is Ulick. I think it's getting real inappropriate, and I'm not happy about that. So we're not going to go too far into it.
I see. Yeah.
But I'm going to go with there is a person there that has a similar name to that is just a horrible person to be around. And I think that like it's kind of like one of those things, like a buddy of mine, his gamer tag was Saldivar because he had a professor, Alejandro Saldivar, that he just did not like. And so he was, sometimes you got to pay homage. There's two types of people in this world, Chris. There's three types. The people who pay homage to the people they love, the people who need to constantly remind everyone of the people they hate, and the people that just love themselves.
That's pretty much it. And man, I would love to know Dan's story. Don't say it, Dan. I'm just saying, I would love to know.
Please email us at sportstalkdetroit@gmail.com.
I'm guessing it's got to be FBI. I mean, he can't say his name.
Oh, you're going heavy. CIA up in here.
I'm saying he couldn't say. He could have been like, I don't want to say my name. I get that. I don't want to say, but he said, I can't say my name because I'll lose my job. Man,
yeah.
I'm so interested.
Well, he can't tell the story.
It just sounds like Eileen Ulick. Yes, Daniel. We got that. Like,
it just sounds like Eileen Ulick.
Okay. It's in sports. Oh my gosh. It's Colin Cowherd.
Mark. Anyways, so we'll let you read that for your
Oh my gosh. Craig, I'm going to get out of here. Are you going to stay?
Nope. I'm out of here with you. It's been great.
This is great. Thanks for everybody. I get in trouble for giving information.
I knew it. There's an ongoing investigation.
Yep. He's doing something. Oh my gosh. We got loose at the end, but we had so many comments, Craig, and it was just fun to see everybody. So this is great.
His jobs in sports. Great. Thanks, Dan. Dan the man.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what I'm saying. He's
See, right. This is what I love about going live is getting to know the people that are consistently commenting. You know what I mean? Like, that's great.
Where was nothing tonight?
So. What?
Where was nothing?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's our Lions diehard.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I thought he transferred over, but he's come on. All right. Let's get out of here. We'll see everybody.
Hey, everybody, it's been a blast. Hey, if you are hanging with us right now, hit the subscribe button. Be part of this community, get those updates, but be looking for videos in the next month over who the Pistons could take, what kind of roster building we should be looking for. I already put a video out about important dates. So if you're wondering, like, what's the next important thing that's happening, go check out that in video. And we'll be there.
Awesome.
So,
yep.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Giovanni, you the man.
Appreciate you.
See ya.
See ya.